What's up, guys? It's Cody.
And Cornell, and we're K-Stop Collective. Today we're reviewing the first episode of Kiznaiver, which is a new 2016 spring anime done by Studio Trigger. It's an original production. They've done Kill I Kill and previously worked on Gurren Lagann, and it is written by Okada Mari, who has done some great work such as Blast and Tempest and the original Fate Stay Night. And we're just really excited about this anime because it has some great people working on it, including voice actors. So let's hop right in.
First of all, the intro, which is Lay Your Hands on Me, done by a band called Boom Boom Satellites, is just amazing. I really like it. If I could use the intro as a part of it as the intro for this channel, I probably would. It just sounds really good. It's very high energy. Yeah, badly. But yeah, it's a beautiful intro. Lots of spinning lights and flashing colors, and it really catches my eye. That's probably one of my more enjoyable intros.
It's real new age, right? You've been asking for a lot of new age.
As of recent memory, I definitely have. The episode starts off with, you see this little boy running down the hallway, and he falls and hurts himself. Well, he falls and suffers an injury. You see him bleeding, and then it doesn't seem like it really affected him. It goes over to this girl that kind of gets a searing flash of pain, and she tells him that he needs to find his pain again, and she proceeds to jump off of a building. Now that's a flashback. It flashes forward 12 years ahead of time, and you see that little boy, slightly grown up, and he seems very just nonchalant about a lot of things. The first thing I noticed was he sees this little cicada on the ground, and he was wondering why it even came out of the ground, because he said they lived for only like a week and whatnot. And I thought it was, in my opinion, a real nice callback to Gurren Lagann, because he said it should have just stayed underground. Why would it even come up in the first place? And then his friend says probably to make friends, to see what's out there and make friends. Which I mean, that's pretty much the synopsis of Gurren Lagann to me. Then you see him talk about, these bullies that keep pestering him for money and stuff, and you kind of I didn't understand why he didn't care at first, because like I said, he seems just so nonchalant about stuff. The girl starts worrying about him, getting fed up with how his attitude is, but it proceeds to show the bullies beating him up, and then you realize that he doesn't feel pain pretty much whatsoever. He's very numb to it, and so they pretty much pester him until they realize he didn't have any money. They beat his ass some more, get tired, and then this character Hajime Tengu steps in with what can only be described as a blatant, I don't know,
like the greatest attack of all time.
jiggly summer butt.
Something like that.
Yeah, which I felt, honestly, if a girl would have done that, it would have been like a whole different ballgame, So a guy did. I don't think I've ever seen a guy sit on somebody's face in an anime. I've seen a whole lot of stuff happen in anime. That, not so much.
He's our typical muscle head, but definitely a spin to him there.
He reminded me of Kamina a lot like Kamina. He's just a little badass, cool looking guy, get shit done. So he threatens these bullies and they run off and stuff, and then he realizes that the guy, they share the same class. That's what he said, and he noticed he was in the same classroom, which I think is a classic anime trope, pretty much. And he's wondering why he was not sweating anything, and he realized that that he feels no pain. So then he starts testing it out because he's fascinated, which I thought was hilarious, because he chokes him out and he just passes out like that. And then out of nowhere comes this one character. She's like, in order to know your limits and surpass them, you have to test them, and you'll never know. Just starts talking all this
real deep
prophesizing.
Yeah, real deep shit.
It comes from such a goofy conversation to this girl being so serious. And so it transitions into this girl that's curious about this guy because she sees all this stuff happen, I guess. And I mean, she starts questioning him and telling him that she notices certain attributes in the students and how they're all kind of connected in certain ways, which relate to the 7 deadly sins, being wrath, lust, greed, envy, sloth, pride, and gluttony. All of those which we can only remember because we watched a shit ton of Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, that's a great show.
Yeah, especially Brotherhood.
Shout out to Studio.
Holla at it. So she starts testing this guy who we find out is, every single one of these guys are a different slightly morphed version of one of those
Yeah, the
Sims.
different portrayals. You know,
So
like
let's say instead of
you have your imbecile and your goody two shoes and your muscle head and your high and mighty. So you know, it's I think we'll really enjoy getting to know all of these characters because they definitely have their own spin to them. You can tell already. And if you watch any of the character videos that they had on Crunchyroll, then you know there's some stuff to look forward to.
one thing I noticed, which I feel like is getting much more popular nowadays, is just how they play the role of each female just so differently nowadays. I've never liked damsels in distress. I don't like sissy little female roles. I like strong and like empowered women. I just like it. It's much more entertaining to watch than having every guy save the day or, things like that. And so I like strong-headed, strong-willed characters just in general, but I really like that they're doing that with the girls nowadays. I mean, of course, they have that one real airheaded girl. It was so
Nico,
funny. It was so
Nico
funny.
Niyama.
They wound up. So she explains to the guy all these characteristics, and I mean, he could care less. He seems kind of not stupid, but
just lazy.
Yeah, just real lazy and like I said, nonchalant about everything. And because I mean, I guess growing up not feeling any pain at all, it's kind of hard to relate. But which is what she says. She says no one can relate to you, no one can see themselves in you. People want to share their pain. That's how we all find common interests and find friends and have bonds. And he has none of that. So she proceeds to push his ass down a flight of stairs and what could possibly be the most important plot point to this entire anime. I told Cornell's gonna come back at the end. You could mark my words. In slow motion, as he's falling down these stairs, he sees this girl wearing polka dot panties.
That's definitely a recurring thing.
There's no way they added that in for no reason.
What was really weird to me was that she said, first of all, she told him that he jumped down the stairs. That's fucked up. And she also said that the pain was evenly spread out through all of them when he fell, which I didn't really see any of that, so I kind of hope that gets explained more. Maybe it's because he doesn't feel any pain, so when the pain happens to him, the others don't feel it.
True, she did say that. Like he suffered, the amount of damage he suffered was on the verge of like he could have died.
Yeah,
he suffered grave wounds, but his pain was spread out evenly. Which I mean, we didn't see any of the characters get hurt, which was strange. But at the same time, so she pushes him down the stairs. He goes unconscious, and he gets carried off in a stretcher by these really weird mascot-looking things that we see at the very beginning, handing out flyers and stuff. And she explains that the whole town that they live in is an experimental town. It's an experiment for what we don't know yet, but she wants to put these drives in these people. She tries to find connections. She tries to find connections with people and put these things called Kizuna drives, right?
Yeah.
Kizuna drives, which help you share bonds and share pain alike. And I don't know. That's all we know about it.
Just because the world is so tormented with war. That's what she just battering. We don't know what kind of battering. I mean, they seem like happy-go-lucky students. I mean. So we really don't know what's going on the outside world. Even when like the camera panned out and showed the city, it didn't really look that bad. But I'm pretty sure we'll see what she's talking about as we go on.
She mentioned that it took 50 minutes to get to the center of the town using the bridge.
It's a big town.
What? And I mean, they zoomed out and showed it didn't look that big. So I'm really curious as to why she would even mention that. I feel like that's gonna come back in one way or another. Because it takes almost an hour to get to the center of the town using a bridge and a car. That's pretty crazy to me. But so she goes on about. First of all, I think it's hilarious because she said, we did reconnaissance and we wound up getting these people to come here, which really they just kidnapped them. And one girl was just sleeping, they got her. One girl was on the side of the road, they got him. It was really funny. And then that little ditzy airheaded girl, all they did was peek around the corner and she saw him and they ran away and she just followed them. I thought that was so funny. That really cracked me up. But we learned that they're all gonna share pain because that really airheaded girl is looking in a corner like, what are you doing? she's like, well, this is obviously a dream. She prays to fairies. That's what she does. She prays to fairies with a little chant, and that's her thing. Okay, and she's like, well, I'm praying to the dream fairy. And the muscle-headed guy is like, all right, well, this is a dream. I'm definitely gonna fill you up before we all wake up. And so she gets all blushy and freaks out and slaps him right across the faces. And then we see, which I think is a point Cornell is trying to make, that we see them all share pain, and Cornell's like, that was not equal.
Because she said it was equally divided between all of them. They looked like they felt it really hard. And if they felt that, they all should have felt when our main character was pushed off the stairs, because that was like a deadly fall.
Yeah. It was just a slap. They were all like on the ground, and then one girl experiments with it.
Yeah, you
started
see,
hitting her.
Chidori, she started hitting herself in the head.
Yeah.
So, so they're all like, what's going on? What's going on? Like it was just explained to them. But
I think it's so interesting that they have a character named Chidori. We all, if anybody knows anything about anime, I've been knowing this since I was a teenager. Chidori is like Sasuke's attack, 1,000 chirping birds or whatever it's called.
Thousands of birds.
And Trigger's that's a well-known studio nowadays. That's a popular, this is probably going to be a pretty popular anime. I just think it's so strange that they would call a character Chidori, which is obvious. That's like calling Sanji Naruto. Like
that was really going to be a thing.
Yeah, so I just think it's so surreal to see things like that. It's cool though. But all in all, I think it's a very interesting setup so far, because Cornell was wondering, you mentioned that you don't know who they're gonna fight, and I feel this is like a Power Ranger setup if I've ever seen one, dude. Like, I want them to get all color coordinated suits and shit and just ride around in mecha that combines and stuff like that. This seems like a really good setup to what can be like crazy action packed and weird.
We shall see, but most of our characters, didn't even believe in it, and we have our main character, Katsuhira, who was the most interested one in it, so he stayed behind.
Yeah, everybody else left. They were like, whatever, we're not buying it, and they just left.
Yeah, he stayed behind. He talked to her more about it because he's really interested, because he doesn't even know about himself. He doesn't know about pain. He doesn't know about bonds.
He doesn't even know his own thoughts. He doesn't understand a lot.
And that's when this weird flash of light, appears in all of their arms. They all have the same scar, and that's when she dubs them all Kiznaivers.
Like, how is that not like the most common writer? Like, you're a Kiznaiver now.
Kiznaiver,
yeah.
Dragon, like
Kiznaiver Henshin. Like, you better start transforming, dude. That's where my anime brain goes to. But yeah, the scar that's on their arms is very reminiscent to me of Kill la Kill, with the star patterns that used to be on their chest that would tell you the ranking and all that stuff. And I just think visually it's it's so easy on the eyes, man. And it just reminds me so much of Kill la Kill and a lot of the other Trigger things that they've worked on, which is great.
Yeah, but and then that was pretty much the end of the episode. And I love that it's an original work, so we have no idea what to expect. We, going in here empty-handed.
One thing that I've been sticking with since Gurren Lagann, they started underground, started from the bottom, now they're here, and they're always gonna wind up in space. That's just a thing to me. Like, it happened, they started underground, didn't even know that there was an above ground, and they just went above and beyond the drill that pierced the heavens, And the same thing I said when Kill la Kill started. I said this shit is gonna end up in space. And lo and behold, the very last episode, I was so hyped. They wound up in space. It's not a huge plot point, whatever. They had the satellite and whatnot. But I'm once again gonna predict that this is somehow, some way, gonna end up in space.
While we're on the subject, they was throwing galaxies like ninja stars.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't even know why, but whatever. It was cool. And but yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm very excited for it so far. I think it has nothing but groundwork laid out to be a really, really good and memorable anime and have a crazy storyline.
This is definitely an anime that we shall stick with the review. I'm not too sure if it's going to be 13 episodes or 24.
That's a good question.
But yeah, we shall be here reviewing it. And the usual, comment, like, and subscribe if you like the video. And we'll see you next time.
All right, bye, guys. You gotta get the shakes up. No.
You gotta get the shakes up. No.